All right, we're going to try this one again. I've done a lot of these first blog recordings that have just not turned out, so hopefully this one does. But yes, this is my first blog. It is March 4th, and I am marching forth to start a new era, which includes more coordination, more transparency, more out there. I have a lot of things that I do. I write, I act, I entertain, I make music, make films, and people complain sometimes that I do too many things, and it's hard to keep track of. And I have too many things in too many different places, even though things don't belong in one place. It's like there are things that you do in your everyday life, and what you do in one place or at one time is not appropriate for others. There are places where you would wear a bathing suit. There are places where you would not wear that bathing suit. Places where you would get dressed up in a really nice gown or a tuxedo, and other places that wouldn't quite be appropriate or work. You have when you work, a lot of people have uniforms that they wear. Most places I've worked, I've had a uniform that I've had to wear, and even as a filmmaker, I have a uniform in my business that I wear when I go out to do film work. And then I have my personal spaces where I put my own personal stuff and am just myself. Everything has a place, and they don't all belong together. My personal stuff doesn't belong with my business stuff. My business stuff doesn't belong with my personal necessarily. There's a place for my videos and films, and there's places for poetry and writings, and they're not all in the same place. And just like we have different places that we go to do the different things that we do, we go to one place. Well, we're in the middle of a pandemic still at the moment, so this is not necessarily true, but normally you would have one place that you go for work. You have another place that you go when you go to school. You have, if you go to a religious service of some kind or observant, you have a place that you go for that. If you're going to hang out with your friends, there are places that you will go for that. And then you have home. I have different places for all the different things that I do. My writings go in one place. My personal stuff for my friends goes in another. My work, the films I make, the videos I make go in a different place. And then I make videos for fun, which don't go with my business stuff. This spot here, this page, this blog, is a place where I can put things that don't belong in the other spots, but also it's a coordinating space for those other spots. In this place, I plan on showing you me, the raw me, give you insights into things that I'm working on. The high moments, the low moments, the I've had a success, oh, I've had a setback, things that I'm doing in everyday life, and give you a chance to be along for the ride. Also, I want to be able to share thoughts and experiences and things that I'm going through. I've been through a lot in my life. I've been in a lot of really, really dark places and in a lot of really high places. I've been in a lot of places that many people, hopefully, will never go, but I know that people are there anyway. And I've been in a lot of high places that some people also may never get to, but I hope that they will. I understand a lot of people and a lot of different things because I've been there. And I try to be positive and I try to lift people's spirits, but I am being real. I have struggles just like everybody else. I have setbacks, I have those high moments. I struggle with depression here and there. I have my frustrations, And this is a place to share those a little bit. I don't want to share those everywhere. Not everywhere is appropriate to share those. And this is the spot to be able to do it. So why video? There's a lot of reasons to do something like this on video. I'm a big sci-fi buff. And in a lot of the science fiction movies and games that I've watched, people keep a diary, but it's a video diary, much like vlogging. They record themselves, and you see the faces, you see how they look, you see the facial reactions, the body posture, you hear the sounds in the voice, the emotion. I always love that. It gives so much more than just writing something out and then reading it. For a long time, I also kept a video journal that was just for me and won't be shared. But I can look back and I can see how I looked. I can remember what was going on so much more than if I had just written it down. I remember what I was going through. I remember what was going on in the world at the time. I remember other things. I can hear the joy or the exhaustion or the frustration or elation in my voice in the recording, and it gives a lot more than if I were to sit there and read it. So I'm kind of starting this for similar reasons, because I want to be able to share some of my thoughts with some of you, things that I'm going through, to let you know that you're not alone. We all feel alone at times, even sometimes if you're in a room full of people. Maybe you're in a room full of your friends and still you feel totally alone. I get it. I do. That's a frequent experience for me. Or people tell you they're there to support you, and you're waiting and waiting and still waiting after years for promises to be kept. I get it. This is a clearinghouse. This is a place for me to show me to somebody who may be interested. And why YouTube? YouTube is the most watched video platform out there, excluding things with professional video like Hulu or Netflix. YouTube is where people go to watch videos, to watch their friends. It's accessible. It's the number one search engine on the planet. People go to YouTube to search for things before they go to Google a lot of times. And if you do a Google search, YouTube is owned by Google, so YouTube results show up in your Google search. You know what I'm talking about. YouTube is more accessible and allows me to reach more people. I have a Facebook page, and I have both private and public Facebook pages. I don't post everything there, and of course, not everybody uses Facebook, and you have to have a Facebook account in order to access Facebook. Same thing with Instagram. I have my WordPress blog. Well, you don't have to have an account to read the blog, but you have to take the time to read, and more in our culture, our society, our world, people don't want to read. They want to watch, like you are now. And as I said before, you get so much more watching a video than reading. I've started recording my poetry that I write, and there are things that you will hear in in poetry that is read by the person who wrote it that you don't get in the words. There is emotion, there's intonation, there can be facial and other body language that you don't get when you just read it. Video gives so much more, and video really has been my passion for years and what I've wanted to do. I started reading a book called Vlog Like a Boss, and it asks some questions of me specifically related to vlogging or making videos. but really the questions can apply to anybody, anywhere, with anything that you do in your life. And I'm going to make a series of videos where I start to address some of these questions, not only because they're questions that I think I need to solidify an answer to, even though I know, but sometimes, even though you know, you still need to know. Does that make sense? Sometimes you may know up here, but it can help to get it down on paper, on video, on a recording of some kind, to document so it's there in front of you. And in fact, a lot of business guides and things like that will tell you, don't just keep it in your head, write it down and look at it. Or in this case, I'm recording it. One of the questions that the author of the book asks is, why video? And in particular, I can't see up close. Why is it important to me? Why is what I'm doing important to me? There are, the author says that there are different reasons to do video and video blogging. One is for personal reasons, just to show off and put things out there to your friends and entertain them. And another is for business reasons, to promote yourself, to promote your business, to show people what you do, to be able to get hired. I have different video areas of sites and different YouTube sites for those various reasons. Not everything belongs together. But I love video, and I love making video, and I love entertaining people. And why is video important to me? And more importantly than that, why is it important to me to make videos and put them out there? I spend a lot of hours making videos sometimes. And the same kind of quality that is not going into this, that is going into my other videos. But even though they aren't getting a lot of views, and even my friends are not viewing a lot of these, it's still a passion, and I still want to keep doing it. And why? Why, as we go back to the question, why is it important to me? I have a couple of reasons. First, I enjoy entertaining people, and I want to reach more people than I otherwise could on the other platforms. I can only reach so many people on Facebook, even when Facebook is set up public. I can only reach so many people on Instagram. Even my WordPress blog can only reach so many people. My business website can only reach so many people. This can reach even more. Another reason, I want to make a positive impact on people, on you. I want to be able to encourage you, to make you laugh, to challenge you, and present views of life that you may have never considered. I want to open hearts, eyes, minds, and hopefully, make the world a happier, more loving, kinder, more empathetic, more accepting, more understanding place. I want to share knowledge and experience that I once lacked with you, with folks who are lost, hurting, seeking, to let you all know, as I said before, you're not alone. We all struggle with things, even though we may not show it directly. We may not even show it when people are standing right in front of us. There's a transparency that can be there when you're not looking at somebody, and sometimes it's hard to look somebody in the eye and say, you know what, you hurt me, and I'm hurting because of things that you have done or said, or I'm really not okay with this, whatever is going on. Sometimes it can be easier to be honest without being cruel to a camera. Eventually somebody will see it. But this is me, and I'm going to be as transparent on all of this as possible. Another reason why this kind of thing is important to me, I want to help heal the hurt. I want to be able to help lift spirits, lift the downtrodden and broken heart, lighten dark, heavy hearts and dark, heavy minds, and be able to bring hope. And yes, I'm looking at my notes. I have been in many, many dark, dark places with no one there for me and feeling alone. And even now, sometimes even surrounded by people, I feel very, very alone. And at times I feel like nobody cares. Even now, I feel like there are those who just say that they're there and it's words, and actions don't always match up with the words. And a lot of times in my life, the actions have not matched up with the words people have told me. So I want to let you know, if you are struggling, if you are having a hard time with whatever, that you are not alone. That's why this is here. Me being transparent more so than ever. More so than I am on my other pages. And I also want to know, that I'm not alone. I spend a lot of time working on videos. Sometimes I may spend 40 hours or more on a video that ends up being 5 minutes long. And that's not even including the stuff that's involved before I get started making it. Writing and thinking things through, and sometimes it takes a month of solid work before I can put something out. The interesting thing is, both my WordPress blog and YouTube will show me how many visitors that I've had. They show me where people have come from. Did they find me via the main page? Did they come via a link that I shared? Did they just randomly stumble across my page because it was featured on the front of YouTube or on the main WordPress site, and somebody said, "Oh, this is interesting, let's look." My WordPress blog is quite a few years old, and it shows me when people click over from Facebook or other places, and it's interesting. With all the sharing I've done on Facebook and all the people that I know here, I get more views from people in India. Yeah, I get more views and have more followers in India and certain other foreign countries than I do from my friends here in the United States. Kind of like Jerry Lewis. They loved him in France. Other places couldn't stand him. YouTube does a similar thing. YouTube will show me where somebody has come from. If they allow, it can also give me information like age ranges, show me where in the country they're coming from, but it also shows how much of the video that they've watched. And sometimes when I make an 18-minute video, or excuse me, not 18-minute, a 5-minute video, my average view is 18 seconds. And I have people who will say that they've watched them, and it's like, I know they haven't, because the results show me who has watched and who hasn't, and this leaves me feeling pretty alone and frustrated. I can tell when people come over from the links I share in different places. And to also be honest, a lot of times the numbers on my videos are me. me watching the video over and over on different devices to see how it sounds, to see how it looks. My video may have 8 views, and 6 of them are me. That can make me feel pretty alone. And I know somewhere out there, there are other people who are feeling the same thing. And I want you to know that you're not alone. So tomorrow I will post some more, probably post something every day or every couple of days, but I want to work through some of why I do what I do and what I think, and maybe tomorrow I'll put a camera on a stand or something. But for now, we're just raw and uncut. So hopefully this helps somebody at some point in the world. And of course, with video being out there, the video will be there even long after I'm gone, theoretically. And that's what I hope to do, is to somehow at some point leave enough of a legacy that even after I'm gone, I can be helping people and encouraging people. So if you found this interesting, helpful, anything, give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment. Are you relating to anything that I had to say? Drop me a comment. Subscribe to the channel so that I can know that people are there and interested, and hit the bell icon. You'll be notified when I post more, just in case. And that'll also help you find out when I post in other places, because I'll post here and let you know too. So thank you for watching, whoever you are and wherever you are.